Damon L. Jacobs. I'm here in the West Village in Manhattan with the beautiful, spectacular, Emmy-nominated Colleen Zenk. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, Damon. I'm so glad to be here. I'm just so thrilled to be a part of this fun night tonight. We're going to have fun.
We're going to have so much fun, and there's going to be so much glitter. I can't wait.
Me too. Where's mine?
We are getting ready. You're performing tonight with the Will Clark Show, calling some bingo numbers for a very worthy cause.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to be here for New Jersey buddies and for We Love Soaps as well. I'm very excited about it.
That's right, and we are excited to have you.
Tell us an example of the worst thing that Barbara ever did. What's the worst thing in all of the 32 years that you can go like, that was the worst?
I don't know, there were a lot. I mean, in 32 years there were a lot, but I think one of my favorite was when I sent away the 3 women who had made my life hell for many, many years, and I sent them away to a Swiss spa to age them to 100 years. I did, and it was because I had been in an explosion, and I was actually, as an actor, I was in special effects burn makeup for a year.
Yeah.
And it was during that time that these 3 very beautiful women were really getting on my nerves. And so I sent them away to age them, to make them look worse than I did. And then I had my face restored by the evil man that I had married first back in 1980.
Now you are credited with having the storyline, well, the first Back from the Dead. That your husband came back from the dead.
Yes.
Barbara.
Yes. Boy, that was, what year was that? It was mid-80s. Thank you, mid-80s. Wow. Thank you, Damon. It was really the first time that a character had come back from the dead, and it was my evil first husband on the show, James Steinbeck, and then he came back from the dead again, and again, and again, and again. And even, and we finally killed him for real about a year before the show went off the air, but then he came back as a ghost for the very last time I got married, which was my 9th wedding on the show.
Yeah.
Which was 2 weeks before we went off the air.
Can you name your married name?
I can. I played Barbara Ryan, Stenbeck, Munson, Dixon, Munson, Montgomery, Stenbeck, Coleman.
Yeah!
Just opened my own one-woman show.
Yeah!
And there is a song in it called The Stenbecks and Other Husbands, a little piece of special material about all of Barbara's many husbands and men she's been with. And I'm very excited because I'm actually opening here in New York on July 2nd at the Laurie Beechman Theatre.
Well, let's call some numbers.
Okay.
And
I have to tell you a little bit about my history with bingo.
Yeah!
Besides growing up Catholic,
Oh,
and going to St. Anne's School in Barrington, Illinois, a town of 2,600, and growing up playing bingo with my grandparents. We won't even talk about the nuns. But I am the mom of a blended family of 6 children who are now ages 30 to 18. But when they were younger, we lived by bingo. My kids loved this game so much, and I can't tell you how many weekends I spent turning this thing and calling a B24 and playing with my kids.
I can't wait for this summer because it'll be nice weather again, which we're finally getting, and there's something very special happening at the Laurie Beechman Theatre on 42nd Street. Tell us.
Indeed. I'm opening July 2nd at the Laurie Beechman Theatre. We'll run Saturdays in July with the debut of my show here in New York, Colleen Zenk Live.
Colleen Zenk Live! You gotta say live because it's an explanation point. It's capital letters. Live!
I know. I'm really excited, but we just had a big meeting about it this afternoon, and we're tweaking and trimming and editing, and I'm really excited.
Wonderful. Do we know the exact dates yet?
Yes, July 2nd, July 9th, and July 16th, the Laurie Beechman Theatre on 42nd Street, which is below the West Bank Cafe.
Awesome. Which is right by Times Square for those that are coming from out of town. If you come into Times Square, it's 1 block away.
Right.
So we're coming up on well, about over 6 months, almost a year since the As the World Turns was last shot. It's been a challenging year in some ways. It's also been a very it's been a year of a lot of growth and many others.
Yeah, it's been for me.
Yes.
It's been a very interesting year. I mean, I've had a year of enormous changes, both personal changes and business changes and life changes, and in every area, you name it, and there's been change. I'm healthy. That's one of the things. I'm healthy, and I'm moving on in my life, and my new show is all part of that. And I'm very sad about World Turns being gone, but it's been a long time now, really long time. And the fans are still mourning. I'm still mourning. And now we found out just this week that it appears that our studio in Midwood, Brooklyn, JC Studios, is on the block to be sold. So it's, one thing after another just keeps happening.
Right. A lot of changes. That was the studio where Another World was filmed, As the World Turns, The Cosby Show, and so many other things.
And all the Esther Williams films and the Keystone Cops, et cetera, et cetera. But, and then also to find out week before last about All My Children and One Life to Live, it's just almost more than a soap fan can bear.
So what would you say to soap fans that are just struggling to get their bearings amongst all this loss and bad news over this past year and the year before?
I think... I don't know. I mean, I think that the genre has changed forever. It will never be what it was. I think what they have to do is, if they love the genre and they love the storytelling and they love the day-to-day stories and the actors, they need to embrace the shows that are left. The 4 shows that are left, support them, embrace them, let the networks know that how much you love them, and make sure that they stay on the air. Otherwise, the genre will be gone forever.
Any chance that you may be heading on one of those 4 shows at some point?
I don't know. Okay. I mean, I certainly would not turn down an inquiry. But at this point, what I'm looking to do is to spread my wings, and I'm going to be my youngest graduates from high school in June.
That's hard to believe.
I know, and so I'm going to be just an empty nester come August, and life will have changed for me in many, many ways, and I just have to figure out where I go from here.
Well, I think change is the operative word. Change is what we've all been dealing with.
Yes.
Some good, some not so good, and sometimes I have found that in retrospect, the changes I thought were not good turned out to be the very best thing.
It takes a while sometimes, though.
Yeah.
It takes a while before you really realize that, and you can absorb it and transmute it all into your own life and make it work for you. But I agree with you.
Right. Well, you are a shining example of someone who has used change to her advantage. You are on stage, you are kicking ass, you're going to be in Times Square.
I know.
And we're getting to get to see this whole side of you that we haven't seen as much as...
No.
We haven't seen it all.
No, you haven't seen it all.
It wasn't always utilized on As the World Turns.
Not at all. Not at all. Going back to my roots, as I've said, and having fun. I just want to have fun. My show is not the kind of show where you come in, sit down, have a drink, and want to slit your wrist because it's sad. The songs are all sad. It's fun. It's lively and silly, and there'll be some World Turn stories and.
There are some juicy tidbits.
There are.
And there's a special guest who kind of transports in from Oakdale.
Just shows
very interested. So people have to come see what that is. All right, Colleen. Well, I got all glittered tonight because I was ready for a Zinktacular evening here at the Will Clark Show, raising money for Buddies of New Jersey. I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
for
me.
this.
Absolutely.